Commentaries. My name is Matthew, and today we're doing a live commentary on Season 23, Episode 1 of the Angry Birds and Godzilla show. Yes. Um, Yesterday, actually, no, today, sorry. Today was a pretty big, okay, stop with the, I hate how it does that. Okay, I think it's good. Might be for now. For the first time in the show's, let's give it something to focus on. There we go. Focus on that. Are you good? Think we're good? I just don't like it when it like goes out of focus like that. Anyway, yeah, for yesterday, for the first time, again today, not yesterday, today. Well, I might be watching this tomorrow, so I guess you can count it. For the first time, 2 episodes of the Amber's Godzilla show debuted, and those 2 episodes were from different seasons, season 22 and season 23. The occasion was really just to give like a temporary split within the show, because I wanted to have one season that focused on the Angry Birds side, and one season that focused on the Godzilla and Kong side. So that way you could actually get like the best of both worlds, because as I've noticed that the series has went on, the Ambers kind of got the sideline treatment a bit, while Godzilla and Kong kind of got like almost center stage. So I wanted to give like Red his own time to shine versus Godzilla and Kong where they get their own time to shine. You know, that side, you know, if you want like an Angry centric, just watch season 22. And if you want a more Godzilla and Kong centric one, just go to season 23. You don't have to watch like one over the other to like really like understand each other's stories. If I were you, I'd just watch both of them. So also you guys did seem to like the last one, so let's go ahead and watch it. Episode itself is out right now. Let's kind of like back up a little bit. I think that should be good. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see me in the reflection. Neighbors Godzilla show. New intro. So this new intro is like a mixture of the season 22 and season 21 intros. What I mean by that is it kind of brings the new plushies and stuff in, because this is going to be the new intro I plan to use for the remainder of the series. As well as bring back the original version of the theme song, which is actually Modern City from Video Show. That old video editor app that you guys probably would remember from like, boy, when did I start using that? Like 2016? Yeah, basically when that was like the intro song, I've started kind of using that since. And then as season 21 entered, I kind of lowered the pitch to like give it like, you know, this is a new tone. We're going to kind of bring it back to that. And then for this season, I thought, you know, why not just bring it to the original variant? I did like using the Rio theme, because I did originally use that in season 2, but I realistically think that it should have been from the very start the Angry Birds space theme, because, you know, it makes sense. The Angry Birds, and technically speaking, Godzilla are in space. So I feel like I should have used that instead of the Angry Birds Rio theme, but I was like, what, 11 at the time? So anyway, so continue going. So yeah, brought back, all this is new film. So new plushies, new characters. Aaron's Godzilla show. You also might have noticed I got rid of Mario and Sonic. That's because they are no longer considered main character status. Probably just more or less side characters.
So, Brad's gone to Rio. What do you think we should do for the time being? Well, why don't we go to the cliffside, find Mothra, and all hang out there together? We haven't done that in a while. It's because the last time someone was by the cliffside, someone got crapped all over.
That is a reference to a previous little short I made about 2021 or 2022, where that exact thing happened. There was by the cliffside, someone was hiking there, and they decided to empty their bowels, and turns out there was someone below. It was actually kind of a childish short, but it was actually kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. Right. What's the matter? Do you just find it childish? No, it's that the one who got crapped all over by the cliffside was Godzilla. Oh my god. I'm terribly sorry for bringing it up. I didn't remember it being him. No, you're good. It's just...
Hold on. For this scene, I wanted to give like a sense of grief, because season 23 is just 1 year after the events of season 21, because 22 and 23 happened at the same time. This is like meant to show how Godzilla's feeling after Godzilla's death from season 21. Looks like we got a few hearts. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's just kind of meant to show a sense of character and development for him, as well as like Kong being more like sympathetic towards Godzilla's loss, because at the end of the day, when someone passes away, people feel it differently. Some people might not be as negatively affected as others would, especially if it's their literal family. So in that sense, I want to show like Godzilla actually, still being heard about it and wanting to really like kind of like move on from that pain. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to give more Godzilla development in this.
I still dearly miss him. I wish he was still here with us. I don't want to sound like someone who has no respect for the dead, but do you think we could maybe bring them back by using Game Godzilla's machine? The same one that brought Gigantus back from the dead? We can't. Mechagodzilla stripped that thing for parts a while ago and used it to create a new mecha. I don't know what it was, but I'm sure it was great.
Okay, 2 points for that little thing. The original device, which was actually just like a camera stand that I reconfigured into the like the reviver device. I don't really remember its name. I know the creator of the show doesn't even remember the name of the device. I wanted to add like a sense of continuity that they still remember it. And 2, the actual reason why it's not in this episode is because I lost it. Yeah, so unfortunately you won't be seeing that thing anytime soon, if not ever again.
Besides, King Godzilla doesn't have the money to make machines like he used to anymore, now that he's retired. I also think we should just let Godzilla rest in peace now. He died painfully, and we wouldn't want to live him through trauma and pain again. That all makes sense, and we're doing all we can do to cope with it. I hope all is well with the rest of your family, since I don't really keep tabs with them. They're all fine now. Dad and Mom have gathered their thoughts about it.
You think it's a bit hypocritical for him to say when he's literally holding a battle axe that's made from the body parts of a Godzilla.
Oh, wait, that reminds me. I still have to speak to Derpy Godzilla about his, fight with Junior. What happened between him and Junior? Derpy promised Junior that he'd pay him back $1,000 from a few months ago, but Derpy hasn't paid anything back, and Junior really needs that money.
That's why you don't mess with loans, kids. But really, I just want to also show like a sense of what Derpy Godzilla's been up to, because Derpy Godzilla has been like a long reoccurring character, and especially because like, oh wait, I actually have the Derpy Godzilla prop right here. I know I'm going to be doing a bit of acting. I have $1,000 in my bank, and I didn't give it back to Junior. And then I don't know. The Junior prop is right there. Hi CCD 18, number 1 fan in the stream, I see. So let's go ahead and continue with that. As for if Derpy Godzilla returns this season, he absolutely will. It's just not the time right now. But I can confirm this: Game Godzilla will return in the next episode.
Well, sounds like he's in a lot of trouble. Do you sense that at all? Sense what? I can't pinpoint it exactly, but I feel something coming. Is that what Mothra said when she was in the bed with you? Kong, you know how I feel about you making jokes about my marriage, but...
Adult joke. Moving on.
I'm serious. Something's on its way to Earth right now. Do you not feel it either? Godzilla, you of all people should know that I don't have as great senses as you do. Besides, I can't sense something from the sky, though I do see something.
Originally, I was gonna try and like find some sort of comet, like effect, but unfortunately, I couldn't find one that actually worked for this scene. So instead, you get this little tiny fireball that's like flaring. That's supposed to be Gamera, which, fun trivia about Gamera, originally he was supposed to appear in season 21, which is why in some videos around the time I announced season 21, he was supposed to return. However, I felt like with the abundance of characters that returned from that season, plus bringing in new ones, because I wanted to develop Scar King and Shimo as like full-on antagonists for that season, I wanted to kind of like give Gamera like a bit of like, okay, let's hold off on you and then let's bring you in a season where we can actually give you the center spotlight. I think it honestly worked out.
What the hell is that?
Don't worry, my cat's just stampeding in the background.
It could be Space Godzilla or Gaigan. It can't be either of those two. Gaigan glows red, and I can detect another member of my own species. That there in the sky feels oddly familiar to me.
Coming in hot.
Should we duck?
Yeah, I think we should.
Kong, are you okay?
From the sound effects to the way it was shot, I'm actually quite happy with that. I think I could have maybe added like a little bit of like a downward angle, so you have like the ground right here, and then you have like the fireball, which is actually taken from the 1956 Godzilla action figure from NECA, and it's meant to be like a little fireball in there. So I could have added like maybe tiny little Godzilla and Kong minifigure, because I do have some minifigures that do kind of fit that. I almost kind of wish I did, but whatever.
Yeah, I am. I have no idea how I survived that, but get this giant meteorite off of me.
Wait a minute. That's no meteorite. That's... Gamera?
Godzilla. Oh my gosh. It's so good to...
All right, so originally for Gamera, like as far as the the voice of Gamera, I kind of swapped from voice to voice because I'm very limited with the amount of voices that I can do with these characters, because I have such like a deep masculine voice. It's kind of hard to do it. Thankfully, like a lot of the characters on the show are male, just down to the fact that I can really only voice male characters. So with that said, Gamera's voice was a bit tricky to nail down because I didn't want it to be like a lower pitched voice. You already have Red, who's kind of like standardly like, oh my gosh, I'm Red. It's just like a more eccentric version of my standard voice, which by the way, here's like a side-by-side comparison between my old Red prop versus my new one. You can actually see like just how much bigger Red's gotten. Yes, they do acknowledge that in the series. Kong's voice is just like a more rugged, almost older sounding version of my voice, where I really kind of constrict my voice and really like kind of ride home like that, and then Godzilla's like a little lower like that, and then if I want to loosen it up a little bit more, I get Droopy Godzilla. Yay. So yeah, that's basically how I do the character voices. As for Gamera, again, I've always wanted a lighter pitched voice to kind of like stray away from the other ones, so eventually I did kind of get down to a science, and it's just like a little bit raspy, higher version of my regular voice, which a lot of the other characters don't seem to have.
See you again, old man. What the hell?
Wow, you haven't aged a day.
And you clearly have aged.
You should have seen me last year. I was skinnier and I had pink spikes.
Wow, really? What made you want to get rid of that look? It must have been awesome.
I just decided to put on some 80 pounds intentionally and revert back to my old self.
Excuse me, Godzilla. I don't mean to sound rude, but who is this and how do you two know each other?
So here, this is like the first time where Gamera and Kong meet, and just for backstory, Gamera was a part of the war that happened between Godzilla and Kong's kind. Kong himself was not born around the time. He, in this canon, is about a few hundred years old, versus these guys where they're actually a few million years old. Technically speaking, that's not so right for Gamera, but I envision him as like an ancient alpha predator, the same way Godzilla is. So they're millions of years old. Kong is not.
What?
Oh, Gamera, I'd like to introduce you to Kong. He's a
Great ape. Wait, why is he looking at me like that?
Gamera, wait!
What the hell, man? We just met. I know exactly.
And of course, we get our first fight scene, which is going to be Gamera versus Kong. Originally, that was actually the title of this episode, which was just Gamera versus Kong. However, I kind of like the title One Shell of a Reunion a little bit better, just because, like, that's literally what this is. One shell of a reunion. Shell, hell. You get the joke? Yay. I'm Comedian of the Year.
You are. You're a member of the Great Apes. The same apes that nearly killed my right-hand man.
So here, Gamera still envisions him being best friends with Godzilla, even though he lost that title, so to speak, years ago, because Red and Kong are both Godzilla's right-hand men. More so Red.
I've had enough of people trying to kill me the first thing when they meet me. Well, maybe it's because now they know how much of a monster you and your kind were.
You guys, please stop this. This is clearly a huge misunderstanding.
Ooh, I see you taking it too far with that axe. But how's this? We're taking it to new heights. So, how's it feel? Over 1,000 feet in the air, huh? What's that? I can't hear you. You need some air? Well, have as much as you want. This turn is crazy. How am I supposed to win, let alone survive? If I want any chance of living after this war, I'm gonna need to follow big guns.
Originally, they were going to go to space, but I didn't have like any set that would actually act as space at the time.
This is gonna hurt.
I'm going to turn that down because that's actually a bit loud.
Wow, impressive. I didn't think you had it in you, Ape. But now, you die at the hands of me. Goodbye, Ape.
Camera, that is enough.
So if you notice right there,
Goodbye, Ape.
that is not the Godzilla I used. That's actually from the NECA 2003, which is a different version of Godzilla entirely. I decided to change it up for this because, what you'd say, I did try shooting it with the 2019 Godzilla, but his tail just would not work, so I just grabbed the biggest, bulkiest Godzilla tail, and figured that because it would only last a second, not many people would notice, so...
Camera, that is enough.
Godzilla, what the hell? I was literally just about to avenge your fallen ancestors, win the war versus lizards and reptiles. See him? He's a great ape. He has to be killed.
No, he does not. Kong is an ally. The war's been over for a while now. He's my friend and my brother in arms. We're all at peace. And then here you come along and nearly killed him. The times aren't like that anymore. We were already one. Now lay it off, my friend.
But the apes, they... It's true, Gamera. I'm a survivor, and I'm not even from the war. I was born only a few hundred years ago. The war happened millions of years ago. Everything's changed since then. Everything my ancestors did to Godzilla's kind, I disagree with. I never want to be associated with that sort of behavior again.
So basically, this is just kind of meant to set up like Gamera's act first, think later, because he had no idea Kong was not part of the war that happened, and he views Kong as like a threat immediately.
I'm the last of my kind. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Kong. I had no idea. I wasn't thinking straight.
No, you didn't. Because you prefer to act before you think.
Is this how you treat all primates? Beat them to a living pulp until they're dead? We literally just met. We could have been great friends, but instead, this is the way you do to me. This is the second time in the past 2 years I've nearly died to a reptile. But please forgive me, Kong. I promise I'll do better. I didn't want this to be our first.
Also, before you guys get the wrong idea, the first time was actually from Shimo, not Godzilla.
Interaction?
It's too late. Sorry, it wasn't first interaction. Godzilla, let's go.
Godzilla?
I think you should go, Gamera. I was initially excited to see you, but this was pathetic.
I'll take this to heart and do better. If this is the last time either of you see me, please understand. And again, Kong, I'm so sorry for nearly killing you. And Godzilla, I'm sorry our reunion had to end up like this.
Want to fill me in on who he is now? Fine. Only this one time.
Okay, well, that's basically the entire episode. Admittedly, I'm kind of a bit disappointed that this video was only like 9 minutes long, as opposed to like the average episode these days being like 10 plus. But that was really only because the amount of scene I filmed had to be like squished down, cut, condensed. This had to go there, that had to go there, all the sound effects had to be compacted to accommodate the fight scenes. I think like in total I filmed like maybe 15-20 minutes worth of footage for this episode, and I had to like severely cut it down for editing purposes. But realistically, the next episode I promise will be a bit longer, as there's a lot more dialogue as opposed to action. But I feel like, in a way, I wanted Gamera's first introduction to be like him adapting to the new world as he's not used to. Because, again, this is like his first meeting with Kong and his first meeting with Godzilla in a long time. So he doesn't actually know what's happened since the events of the war that happened. So he's not used to this. I think plain and simply, he needs to kind of like work on himself, and I feel like that's going to be a big theme with this season. Is between season 22 with I'm not gonna spoil anything. Well, I mean it's kind of already been exposed a little bit, but Red is gonna have to have like some form of like development with the pigs, and Gamera is gonna have to have some sort of like development with Kong. So we have like two sides of almost the same coin here. One side he's trying to like put aside his past beef, and the other one he's trying to adapt to a new world. Even though I guess you could technically say they go hand in hand, it's basically just two different perspectives at two different situations. And that's what I like about the two seasons, is that development wise they are very similar, but also very much exploring different ideas. I really do like that. And honestly, I'm really happy with how this episode turned out, all things considered. And we will get to like the main thing, why it's called Plants Brigade, at a later point in the series, probably starting next episode. Wink, wink. But that said, that's really all I have to say. The full episode, uninterrupted, is out now on my channel. Go to Matthew T.O.S.G on YouTube. I mean, you're basically already here. Just click my icon and go to the episode. It's literally my latest upload as of the time of this is going live. So, yeah, that's all I have for this live stream. If you guys have anything else to say, I'm going to open it up for the next 30 seconds. I don't know how much people are in here because that number seems to fluctuate a lot. I imagine people are probably just coming in via the live chat thing where on shorts you can actually like look through it and then boom, there's my live stream, and then they just kind of swipe away. I don't know how interesting this is to you all, but anyways, yeah, I think I'm gonna call it quits for this stream. Thank you guys for watching, and I promise I'll be doing these a lot more because I like these. I like this new take on live streams. If you want to check out my past streams, go to Matthew T.O.S.G Live, that playlist on my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Subscribe. Peace out, everyone.